Hello friends and fellow wealth seekers, and welcome back to another video update. This is the portfolio update for July. I blog at investmentjourney.eu, as you can see in the link above, and mainly about crowdlending, peer-to-peer lending, and my journey towards financial independence. So, the July update. Let's get right into it. I had written it from my holiday abroad, so I kept it fairly brief. What I would like to highlight is that for those weeks, I had mainly been checking my emails for new interesting projects and kept up with the latest financial news using Finimize. If you don't know Finimize, it's a free financial newsletter. It's witty, to the point, and it gives you the latest in a matter of minutes. I find it extremely useful since I also plan to diversify into stocks at some point, and it's mainly about the economical environment, the financial markets, and all that. So I highly recommend it if you're into that as well. July has been fairly productive with 5 blog posts since the June update. Reviews for Robocash, Quetzal, Crowdester, Viventor, and a portfolio semester 1 update, which combines the 6 months of the first semester in 2019. If you're interested in learning more about the platforms I invest with, I suggest you check out the reviews that I published on the website. I have published 10 of them now. At some point I will make a summary of the platforms and why I use them. For now, for the month, deposited 9,600 euros, withdrawn 4,600, so a net investments of 5,000 euros. And another all-time high for passive income, which is what we want. I'm getting close to the 1K mark. This was unexpected if you read the prior June update, and the main reason, secondary market activity and cashback campaigns. The video is what I'm recording right now, I'll skip over that. Crowdlending portfolio income was, this is the table with all the 12 platforms I invest with, and the current value of 82k. Income for July was 976 euros and 10 cents, an increase of 120 euros roughly. The main contributors are the platform Crowdestate and Quetzal. In July, I managed to sell 6 Crowdestate investments on the secondary market with a profit. On top of that, I took advantage of Quetzal's summer cashback marathon and earned 1% cashback on 3 investments worth 1,000 euros. I foresee passive income for for August being fairly flat or a small decline. In July, I hit an internal rate of return of almost 16%. My calculation isn't flawless, but is an approximation that is close enough. I used deposits up until the last month, in this case June, as a base to calculate the internal rate of return. My first goal is 1,500 euros monthly income from passive sources, which means I'm currently at 65%, another 8% closer than I was last month. I'm confident that I will remain over the 50% going forward, and the next mini milestone is the 1K mark. Then Crowdestate income, 179 euros 66 cents, an increase of 56 euros. The main driver for income is the use of the secondary market. I sold 6 investments at a profit. Crowdestate has been the only profit I was using for about 6 months at the beginning of when I started investing. As a result, I invested in a few projects which were not that appealing in hindsight, so I managed to sell those, withdraw the funds, and invest elsewhere. In August, I expect a few projects to exit, so all in all, a good month with Crowdestate, but also quite unique. I don't expect to generate a similar income from Crowdestate anytime soon. In July, I withdrew 3,300 euros from Crowdestate, and I expect to be more doing more of that over the next couple of months. Even though I like the platform, most of the projects that were recently launched were not that appealing to me. I did invest in this USL Invest company. It's the second tier of the loan. You can find more information about Crowdlending as well in my review that I published. It's internal rate of return or expected returns of 16% and a term of 12 months. And here you can see the income over time from Crowdlending. And then on to Mintos. Mintos income was roughly 49 euros, 16 euros up from last month, and the main reason is the increased deposits. I added 1,000 euros in June, 3,500 euros in July. I decided to increase my portfolio to take advantage of high interest long-term rates, especially from Mogo, Credit Star and Capital Service, which were up to 16% with a buyback guarantee. Fingers crossed those loan originators don't prematurely buy back the loans I managed to invest in. Mogo has already done this for a few loans. I have published a review with Mintos. It's highly recommend reading it. It's one of my favorite platforms out there. If you are interested in becoming an investor with Mintos, I have a link which gives you a 1% cashback, which is a nice little bonus for the first 3 months. And income over time. Then Groupier. Groupier income in July was 115 euros, fairly stable, 1.5 euros up roughly. It's I like the business loans a lot from Groupier. So far it's very predictable, low maintenance, and on top of that I feel the platform has a lot of potential for improvement. Groupier posted a blog post that gets me very excited. It lays out the roadmap for the platform, so very interesting read, suggest reading it. In June I have also published my own Groupier review, so I definitely recommend checking that one out. And Groupier, very stable, definitely a platform I enjoy investing with. Then Investio. Income for July was a small decline of 8 euros down to 89 euros. It's mainly caused by the sign-up bonus not returning any profit because I didn't deposit any funds. So, because no new projects were launched. All projects returned interest according to the payment schedule, so that's always good, reliable. Investio is close to announcing a new partnership that will increase their project flow. There is a pipeline of pre-approved projects with a value of 10 million euros at least. Although I do feel that Investio can handle the communication surrounding these changes a lot better. Investors are a bit in the dark. Sometimes if you ask for a date, the answer is an empty promise, so it's a bit frustrating. I do favor like quality over quantity, so but I still feel that communication is pretty poor. Having said all that, a critical note, like one of the projects with 2 tiers was launched in July, and I got myself a piece of the pie. So I deposited 600 euros and invested in financing the construction of Brianna for residential. So it comes at an 18% interest rate for 12 months. It was funded really quickly. If you are interested in becoming an investor with Investio, I have a link. It gives you 0.5% cashback for like 9 months, which is a long time. Investio income, stable, reliable. The platform comes with its risks, and I've written a review about it, but definitely great returns so far. Then Fast Invest, income was 11 euros 80 cents, a little sub up. It's I've only deposited like a fairly small amount of 1,000 euros, steady month. It's a platform I see for diversification. Loan originators are not being published, so I'm not adding any funds until that changes. I have published my Fast Invest review if you are interested in reading more about the platform. Then Swaper. Swaper income was 52 euros, up 13 euros. So it bounced back to normal. It was a bit low in June. Still not completely the catch up I was expecting, so I'm curious to see what August brings. What I really like about about Swaper is that it has the loyalty bonus, and all my loans return 14% now, and it should have a noticeable effect on my long-term internal rate of return. So the loyalty bonus is if your account value is over 5,000 euros for 3 months in a row, you earn the loyalty bonus, and it gives you 14% loans instead of 12. Then for Ventor, income for July was 60 euros, small drop. Again, the internal rate of return is lower than expected, and I'm not sure what to make of that. I withdrew 1,300 euros in July because I was not happy with the diversification options among loans which return 14% or higher. I felt I was exposed to loan originator Twinero and 40. I was too exposed to those loan originators. And then, funnily enough, the loan originator Monify was added to Ventor the week after. So this gives more options in the 14% range. So currently I'm quite happy with my diversification, and I don't feel overexposed to a single loan originator, but that was after I withdrew 3,100 euros. So let's see what August brings in terms of internal rate of return. 30% that was achieved is lower than expected. Then RoboCash. Income was almost 21 euros. Almost 4 euros more than last month. But this is roughly what it should be. Returns are approximately as expected. Steady month. RoboCash is a platform I'm very pleased with. It's simple, it's hands-off. The one downside is the fixed interest rate of 12%. You could argue that there are better opportunities out there. For now, I'm still enjoying investing with the platform, but I haven't added any funds since March. I also have a review. I didn't mention it here, but you should definitely check it out. Then Crowdlending income for July was 129 euros. Income is pretty flat because the newest projects have a different payment structure. So no longer the monthly cash flow, but delayed returns for 6 months, followed by monthly interest payments. There's an example below which I will just go over in a moment. I deposited 2,500 euros in July and invested the amount in 3 projects, primarily high-end projects. Lately, several projects have provided returns up to 50%, but I do not find those appealing. If you are looking to start investing with Crowdlending, I have an affiliate link which gives you 0.5% cashback for 180 days. And the offer is pretty rare. There's not a lot of blogs that offer this, so I'm very pleased to be able to offer this. And the payment schedule, as you can see here, an interest payment in July, but then nothing until January, and then steady until the end of April when the project exits. And these were the projects I was talking about that I invested in. So like 20.7% for 24 months, industrial business center, renovation, 19.5% 9 months, and a resort 19.5% as well, 18 months. Then on to Quetzal. Income was the highest of the month, 245 euros, 34 euros higher than last month, and so remains my top earner. Boosted income was mostly driven by the cashback marathon, of which the details are displayed below. I managed to grab 1% instant cashbacks 3 times, so that's 30 euros in total, for attractive recently launched projects. It appears Quetzal is successful in attracting more investors, so this is good, positive development for the platform, and I'm happy that they're getting a more stable investor base. The details of Quetzal's generous cashback marathon, so up to 3%. I've only used the first tier a couple times, investing 1,000 euros and get a 1% cashback. And this is like 50,000 euros, you get more than 3% instantly. The offer lasted until 31st of August. I do have a link. If you sign up through this link, you get like 0.5% cashback for 180 days on top of any other cashback campaign. But also, if you use the promo code Investment Journey, you get a 15 euro sign up bonus as well. So Quetzal, my top earner, steadily improving month after month. The platform comes up with its risks, obviously, and there is a review that I published which goes over that. Some of the latest loans I invested with, 19%, 20.5% interest rate, and 19.5%, and even the row houses come with a buyback as well. All of these have been funded by now, but check out the website what's available currently. Then the finance group Crowd, or TFG Crowd. July income 25 euros, up 4 euros. So far so good. Interest returns are exactly as expected. 2 new projects had been launched in July with 70% returns. And one of those filled up in a day, and I even missed out on that, sadly. It seems to be like a one-off thing. The target was 50,000 euros, and it was just completely funded in a day. It will be interesting to follow if the platform can attract more investors. I like the diversification in the projects that they launch. Food, karting track, real estate, or like this is vitamins. Very different projects. So you're branching out really with this platform. In July, I invested 200 euros with the platform, invested it into the vitamin company, Schaefer Nutraceuticals, and the indoor karting track over here. All 3 projects come with a buyback guarantee on the principal amount and 1 month of interest, and afterwards the buyback guarantee kicks in, which comes from a provision fund, and that's published on the website. So income steadily increasing, also because I'm steadily increasing my deposits. Then Monetera, income still 0 because it started with bullet payments. However, this has changed to monthly interest payments from August 1st onwards. The interest for August has already been received in full and on time, so that's great. I like steady cash flows. It also gives you a little bit more trust in the platform because it's keeping up with like the monthly obligations. Monetera is still in its very early stages, and it will be interesting to follow how that changes over time. If they grow, if they manage to attract new investors. I've published a Q&A, definitely worth a read if you want to learn more about the platform. Just today, Monetera published a new project providing 21.2% returns. So I got a piece of that myself. These are the details. Very short period, so 3 months. We'll exit quickly, so I think in November we will know how this went. Did it pay the monthly interests? Did it exit as scheduled? So that's like the first test case for Monetera to see how they if they manage to successfully pick projects. If you're considering opening an account with Monetera, there's a link and it earns you 0.5% cashback for 90 days. And these are some of the other projects that have been launched. 18.2% for 12 months. So all are above 18% and varying periods. 12 months is the longest that I've seen so far. Then onto my savings rate. Savings rate for July was okay, 69%, a drop of 5% sadly. Income is just my salary, however expenses were slightly over budget. Like in the months before, it was like a holiday payments, like just once a year, and a tax refund the month before. So you see like the spikes in income. Now it's back to normal. It is what it is. I enjoy my time abroad, so expenses slightly over budget. I want to enjoy my holiday and still want to be making sensible choices, but savings rate had a small dip. My target for the year is 75%, but that's increasingly harder to achieve. Still on a holiday and for 2 more weeks, and definitely will be traveling in fall as well. Nevertheless, always spend less than I earn. So the difference I managed to invest. So a quick wrap up of this video, or the conclusion about the portfolio update. July has been a great month, the only exception being my savings rate, which dropped a little bit. Attractive opportunities were launched by Quetzal, Crowdaster, TFG Crowd, and also Mintos with up to 16% interest rates. I do need to mention that this has been dropping, taking a nosedive really recently, although still I highly recommend investing with Mintos. So to summarize the month, new all-time high for monthly income, steady above 50% towards the first target of passive income of 1,500 euros, which is like a very good place to be, and just want to build on that. I missed the savings rate again, mostly due to holiday spend. Strategy is unchanged. Focus mainly on investing in projects with like high-end returns, but diversify as much as possible. And then Monetera's new project is like already a mini spoiler that I added in the written blog post. So stay tuned for the August update. And I hope you enjoyed listening and learning from this post. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave a comment below on the blog. There is links on in the show notes to the blog, so feel free to check it out. There's links to all the platforms that I invest with, or like to Finimize, the newsletter. So yeah, that pretty much wraps it up. I hope you enjoyed it, and hopefully you will be back for the next update. Ciao!